Welcome back. So, in today's breakdown, we're taking something totally ordinary, like something you'd probably just toss right in the recycling bin without a second thought, and we're turning it into this epic musical journey. We are going to dive into the exact blueprint for crafting your very own custom instrument using stuff you already have lying around the house. Yeah, I'm talking about the legendary cardboard rockstar guitar. Throughout this explainer, we'll uncover the mechanics, the step-by-step construction, and actually the surprisingly deep developmental benefits hiding inside this simple little DIY project. So grab your gear and get ready to embrace that inner musician. But hey, before we get into the nuts and bolts, or, well, the cardboard and tape, I should say, we really need to set this stage. As the original guide puts it so perfectly, with this amazing theatrical flair, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, prepare your fingers because the rock legend is you. Man, I absolutely love that stadium announcer energy, right? Because today, we're unleashing the music you've already got inside you. You don't need some wildly expensive trip to a fancy instrument shop. Literally, you just need your imagination and a few magic rubber bands ready to vibrate with your energy. It's time to rock. Okay, let's dive right into this. Building the instrument comes down to 4 basic steps. You don't need a professional workshop setup for this at all. Just an empty tissue box, some fun decorations, a handful of rubber bands, and a paper towel roll. Transforming these everyday items is incredibly straightforward. As you know, I love a good chronological breakdown, and this one is perfectly designed to get you from a random pile of recycled materials to a sold-out living room stadium tour in literally no time. So here's our high-level roadmap. Step 1, we establish the body using our tissue box. And a quick note from the source here, if you want a deeper, more resonant acoustic sound, just remember that thicker cardboard equals better bass. It's that simple. Step 2, we enhance the acoustics with some serious revel flair. Step 3 is the tensioning phase with our rubber bands. And finally, step 4, we attach the neck by securing that paper towel roll with just a massive amount of tape, so it can actually withstand your most epic solos. Let's look a little closer at step 2. The source makes this fantastic claim. A rebel design simply sounds better. I mean, I love this detail. Before you string up those rubber bands, you are highly encouraged to completely cover that tissue box in paint, markers, stickers, whatever you've got. And while we might joke that it scientifically improves the guitar's acoustics, adding that personal, rebellious rock and roll flair is absolutely mandatory for getting into the right mindset. A customized instrument is a loved instrument, right? The more energy you put into the design, the more you're going to want to play it. Now, what's really interesting about this next part is the acoustic workaround. This is a crucial pro tip for the tensioning phase. If you just wrap flat rubber bands right around a tissue box, you're going to get this somewhat dull, muffled thud when you pluck them. Why? Because they're resting directly against the flat cardboard. But by simply sliding a standard pencil underneath the rubber bands at one end of the box, you elevate the strings. It acts exactly like the bridge on a real acoustic guitar. Elevating those 4 to 6 rubber bands creates a clear space for vibration, and that gives you a wonderfully crisp, sharp sound. Total game changer. All right, let's briefly step off the stage and talk directly to the parents and educators tuning in, because this is where the explainer gets truly fascinating. This isn't just some noisy craft project to keep the kids busy for a rainy afternoon. No way. Hidden beneath the paint and the rubber bands are some deeply effective developmental mechanics. This seemingly simple toy is actually a really powerful, structured tool for early childhood motor skill development. When a kid builds and plays this cardboard guitar, they're triggering a whole cascade of physical benefits. First up, it completely hones fine motor skills. Think about the tensioning phase for a second. The actual physical act of pulling and stretching those rubber bands over the box requires a serious amount of controlled finger strength. It's quite a workout for little hands. Then, once the instrument is built, the actual strumming of the bands naturally trains rhythm and precision. They have to target specific strings at specific times to make the exact sounds they want. It really becomes a full-on cognitive and physical exercise, just brilliantly disguised as a rock concert. And this brilliantly illustrates a core developmental concept called bimanual coordination. Basically, that's the ability to use both hands simultaneously to perform different, distinct tasks. Think about playing our cardboard guitar. One hand has to firmly grip and support the paper towel roll, the neck of the guitar, while the other hand is doing the complex rhythmic strumming over the rubber bands. It is a literal masterclass in the brain-body connection. And the best part? It's happening entirely through play. That's the true hidden genius of this whole project. Now, before we send our new rock stars off on their massive world tour, we do need to pause the momentum for just a second.
Just like any well-run concert venue, we've got to talk about safety protocols. Because we're dealing with stored kinetic energy here, specifically really tight rubber bands, there's a crucial safety checkpoint we have to establish before the music starts.
Here is the strict parental warning straight from the source material. Adult supervision is absolutely required when stretching the rubber bands. Mom, dad, a guardian, you need to be hands-on during this specific step. Look, rubber bands are fantastic for making music for sure, but if they slip or snap loose during the tensioning phase, they can easily fly up and hit someone right in the eye. So adults, you need to act as the roadies for this part. Manage the heavy lifting and the string tensioning to protect those eyes, ensuring the kids can just focus on the music safely. So once the guitar is safely strung, decorated with absolute rebel style, and that neck is taped up nice and tight, the stage is entirely yours. You've built not just an instrument, but a tool for coordination, rhythm, and honestly, immense joy. So I have to leave you with this final thought. What is going to be your very first hit song on your new custom instrument? Is it going to be a wild, fast-paced solo, or maybe a slow, rhythmic masterpiece? Grab your empty tissue box, find those rubber bands, and let your imagination take the lead. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning and keep rocking.